All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for more One Punch Man on Wednesdays. Let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Yo, peoples, Kyushu92 here. Welcome back to more One Punch Man. The last chapter we got of One Punch Man had Empty Void attempting to attack Saitama, Blast, Sonic, and Flash. Well, actually, it was just Blast, Sonic, and Flash after Blast had his arm cut off by Void. But before Blast could attempt to fuse them both together at the expense of both of their lives, or at least at the expense of his own life, Empty Void gets away and tries to shift out of the dimension so he can basically use Dimension Slash on them. But who shows up to stop this interdimensional attack with just his bare hand but Saitama, who has no idea what's going on and just easily stops Empty Void's blade with just his fingers. Just easily stops his blade with both of his fingers. And Void tries to take him out, and Saitama catches the other blade with his fingers. Mind you, let me remind you, Empty Void is capable of teleporting into a separate dimensional space that allows him to see anywhere in the world, or different worlds in general, as small spheres, or well, relatively large spheres that he can interact with his own attacks. So, his Dimension Slash is literally just what I thought originally was just him sending dimensional energy throughout the bubble world he was attempting to cut through. But no, it's actually him just stabbing into this dimension with his sword and cutting straight through it. Saitama demonstrates that he is beyond dimensional in his power, where he not only stops Empty Void, not once but 2 times, but also drags him by force into the dimension. Yo, kitty, what's going on? What you showed me in the food section, that lady is banned from food in general. Banned from food! Forever! All food! No dates, no charge cards, no movies, no television, no phone calls, no food! Banned from all food. The disrespect to food. The disrespect. But Saitama has shown that he is interdimensional by not only stopping Empty Void's Dimensional Slash with his bare fingers, not bare hands, because he didn't even use that, he just caught it in between his fingers, but drag him back into the dimension and make Void lose both of his swords in the process. So now we're just dealing, and not only that, but since Blast, I'm wheezing. Yeah, I know. This is what, when I wrote that all in all caps, I was screaming. What you showed me was just what did she do that had you crashing out? This lady put tuna on some wheat bread. Then she also put some mayonnaise on it. Then she put some pineapple slices on it. Ate it and said, like, that's not half bad. Then she tried cooking both chicken and fries on the same pan. Cross-contamination, mind you. You're not supposed to do that. Just casually cooking, cut fries on the same pan as raw chicken. Oh, yeah, she didn't even drain the tuna. She just took the tuna, flopped it out on the plate, and then placed it on the bread. Didn't bother draining it out or nothing. Just put it on the bread, put another slice of bread on top, and then put some pineapple slices on it as well. And they're like, that's pretty good. And I'm like, banned from food. I had a session a while back when I was just talking about horrible food and everything, and it was tough. Maybe I'll do one of those again, but I ain't saying nothing. I ain't saying nothing, Jordan. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm just saying a person should not be mixing foods like that together. Oh yeah, it was, it wasn't mayonnaise. It was cream cheese. You know what? We're not going down this road today. We're not going down this road. Not now. This is One Punch Man time. People are not here to see me ranting about weird food. They're here for me to talk about Saitama. We're not having this discussion. We're not about to have this discussion because y'all gonna get me mad. We're not having this discussion. We're not doing it. So back to One Punch Man. So when Blast, and I am staying focused. I only talked about it a little bit, but we're not going down this path again. No, we're not. We're not. No, we are not. We are not going down this path again. No, we are not. But when Blast and Void, when he tried to fuse with him, their memories got swapped momentarily. And in the process, we got to see the moment Void was tempted. And the one that tempted him, when he touched that cube, appears to have been Blast's very own wife. So let's see what happens in Punch 208, Past and Present. Oh, okay, we got some people here, okay. And we're here at a shipping yard with shipping containers and everything. And we get Blast. And there's someone fighting in the distance. What's that?
Thanks for the years of instruction, Master Void.
As it shows this monsterized person fighting Empty Void back when I guess he was human, because he looks fine here. Is this a flashback? I think this might be a flashback. But this monsterized ninja, I'm gonna assume, because if this person if this person is saying thanks for the years of instruction, then this is probably someone from the ninja village that Flash and Sonic came from. And he just knees and launches Void into a shipping container with enough force to actually bend it in half.
And good work contributing to God's plan!
And when this monsterized ninja tries to, gouge into Void, suddenly something comes flying through, and it takes off this monsterized ninja's whole arm. And it turns out that it was Blast. He basically sent a singularity, or think Vanilla Ice from JoJo. Think Vanilla Ice from JoJo, and the sphere just basically takes off his entire arm in an instant. And then Void proceeds to take off this monsterized ninja's head in one fell swoop. I followed this cube and that guy, but you're strong. Who are you? Oh, this is when Blast and Void first met. And Void doesn't say anything. What about you? You look suspicious. I've never seen that technique. He's far too powerful. As he acknowledges that Blast is incredibly strong just from Blast literally sending out a miniaturized black hole to... It basically did the same thing as Gojo's Hollow Purple. It was just a singularity that just deleted everything in its path when it took that monster ninja's arm off. I'm Blast, an individual acting as a hero. So you are suspicious. I just said I'm a hero. The professional hero system was established 15 years later. Oh, so Blast was out here being a hero before the whole hero system became a thing a decade and a half later. This guy called you master. And Void is silent. As the guy's body starts to move backwards starts to regress from monsterization. This agent was a high-ranking ninja and Void's pupil at the village. Void was the village's leader. Okay, so we have now learned that one way for monsterization to reverse for an individual is either by force or if they die. Because this monster starts to regress and we see its face kind of falling away in pieces, and we see the actual person's head underneath. Mind you, Void decapitated this person. And Blast doesn't say anything. Maybe that guy has been snooping around the village. I must find out. And then Void just starts walking over to the head, and he starts trembling, going, This man was my beloved pupil. His name was Verdigris Stain. Hey, that's the name of the guy whose armor I'm going to be taking in Shadow of the Erdtree for my tank build. That's the name. His name was Verdigris Stain. He suddenly monsterized. Blast! Tell me! What did he mean by God? That God forced me to kill my pupil! I will have my revenge. And then Blast is just looking at him. After learning about it, Void went on a journey with Blast to find the cubes. And then it cuts to them. And then it cuts to them traveling, and then it's nighttime, while Blast is in a tent sleeping, and Void is just looking up at the moon. And then we get a Kunoichi, who just comes out of the trees directly underneath him. Ooh, she's quite beautiful.
You summoned me, elder brother?
Moonlight Luna. Hello, Luna. I have a mission for you. Get close to Blast. Behind him is Sitch of the Agoni Group and a genius scientist. Find out about their funding and technology. Can we... Oh! Find out about their funding and technology. Can we recreate it at the village? Should we embrace them? And and once you know all there is to know, eliminate anyone who's unnecessary.
As you wish.
And Luna just disappears. Bro! Oh my goodness, I thought Void had a thing for Blast's wife, but it turns out the woman that he saw in his memories was not someone he was in love with. It was actually his sister. Because Moonlight Luna is Blast's wife and Blue's mother. So he saw his sister. When he was tempted by the god of this universe, by the god of this story, he was tempted by an image of his own younger sister. That changes everything. Find out about their funding and technology. Can we recreate it at the village? Should we embrace them? And once you know all there is to know, eliminate anyone who's unnecessary.
As you wish.
And it shows Blast and Luna getting married, and it shows her giving the eye to her brother Void as he's there at the wedding as well. And then it shows Blast, spending time with his son Blue, and Luna's there as well. And Void is there at the park with them going, has Blast noticed? And Blast just looks at him with a genuine smile. I can't read his expression. Not long after that, my sister died in a fight against a powerful agent. Oh. Luna. Right. You are Maya now. How pathetic for you to die so easily. But just from this panel here, you can tell that Void is upset that he just lost his sister. So she used to be Luna, but went by Maya when she got close to Blast. But what of this timing? Maya's research was just about to uncover the scientist behind Blast. Did Blast let her die and think that taking out a spy was fortunate? But it shows Blast, who's there at the funeral, who's genuinely crying. See, Void is suspicious of Blast, but Blast just seems like an actual genuine dude. Because he's holding his son at this funeral. Or am I overthinking it? I'm not sentimental about my sister's death. Death is the result of weakness, so it's her own fault. She was defective. And it shows Void, and Void doesn't look as youthful as he used to. He's getting like sunken cheeks and shadows and bags under his eyes. He's starting to look a little worse for wear. You don't look so well. You don't look well, Void. Are you all right? What? This is no time to worry about others. As he's saying this, because they're walking into what appears to be like this old, I wouldn't say Aztec or Mayan, but it kind of has motifs of it. Or no. It seems like an old, what is a Buddhist temple? like an old Buddhist temple or tomb. And while they're walking down the stairs in this place, this statue starts moving behind Void, and it cracks open. It cracks open, and then it causes a cave-in. But in the midst of the rubble, we get one of the cubes from God. And while Void goes to try and protect himself with like a barrier, the cube hits him on the hand. Because we know that all you need is for this cube to just touch you in any way, and that's when you enter into the temptation chamber, as it were. But he gets hit by it, and there's a blinding light, and it shows Void standing on top of this cube, overlooking a vast forest and mountain range. And he sees his sister Luna again, Luna and Stain. Yeah, Luna and Stain.
Luna! Stain! You're alive? Elder brother, I found a new mission here, and it's loftier than being a shinobi.
And while this whole thing is going on, we get Saitama. We end the chapter with Saitama going, I needed a big utility knife for opening boxes, but where the heck am I going to keep this? And Akuleta is just looking at Saitama, who's confused by him being confused about what he's going to do with a katana. So, we now see the moment where Void was tempted. Because, yeah, he's being tempted by God here. At least we know. Wow. That's interesting. Okay. That's the end of the chapter. Yeah, that's the end of the chapter. Interesting. So, at least we got a little bit of backstory with Void and Blast, with Void thinking that he's a spy and he's trying to find out more information from him because, I mean, Void is just basically your own super ninja. But for someone with actual supernatural powers to just show up, supernatural powers and beyond ordinary powers, basically just creating black holes that can just take off the arm of an opponent in an instant, that rose suspicion. So he was just like chilling with him and that whole sob story about like, this man was my beloved pupil. His name was Vertigus Stain. He's suddenly monsterized. Blast, tell me, what did he mean by God? That God forced me to kill my pupil. You know, faking this crying in order to get Blast to, you know, give up information and tag along with him because he thinks that Blast has ulterior motives. And now, and not only that, but we also learned that the woman that he saw when Blast and Void's memory swapped each other, Blast saw that the person that tempted him was his wife, was Blast's very own wife, who we learn in this chapter is Void's younger sister, Moonlight Luna. And her job was to get close to Blast, find out everything about Sitch of the Agoni group and a genius scientist. Thinking of Dr. Beaufoy here. I'm thinking it's Dr. Beaufoy they may be referencing. But her whole job was just to get close to Blast and spy on him. And it went as far as them both getting married, them both having a son. But then she gets killed later on. And at the funeral, Void is wondering, I don't know what's going on. I can't read his expressions. Does he know that we're spying on him? Because Blast just comes off as a genuine dude. He just comes off as a genuine guy. And Void is just thinking, I can't read his expressions. Has he noticed us yet? And Blast is just enjoying the fact that he has a son right now. But Void thinks there's ulterior motives here, and he can't really put two and two together that Blast is just genuine. But Luna, Maya, dies, and he sees that Blast is genuinely upset about it, and he's questioning whether he's been overthinking this or not. So time continues, and Void is looking a little worse for wear. Like, I don't know if his stress is getting to him, if he's not eating enough or what. But a statue, while they're exploring this tomb, it breaks open, and a cube, a god, let's call them god cubes. I'm just going to call them god cubes. Don't know if that's the official name, but I'm calling it that now. A god cube falls, and it hits him on the hand, and this is where Void gets transported into the Temptation Station. I know I changed the name. Temptation Station, and he sees his old pupil Stain, and his dead sister Luna. And this is where he's starting to get tempted. So now we know how it happened. Question is, what was promised? Because every single person that gets tempted by God in this story, they're always promised something in return. So now the question is, what is Void about to be promised, and what or in return for him joining up? Like the whole prospect, like what is this loftier mission? That's the question. What is this loftier mission that would cause Void to turn himself into the monster that's currently in the present? One that first he was monsterized, then he absorbed the power of Cosmic Fear Garo, and he's become even stronger. Granted, it means absolutely nothing to Saitama, because Saitama is just OP. But now the question is, what's the loftier mission that he's pursuing now that would cause him to go down this path? Mind you, he hasn't explained that. He hasn't explained what his mission is, what his plan is in return for all of this power and joining up with God. But I can't wait to find out what would cause someone who was, a partner of Blast. The uncle of his son. Now we know that they're related by being in-laws. I can't believe this. I didn't think that the dynamic between Blast and Void would be this deep. I didn't think there would be actual familial ties. Like Blast's wife was his sister, so that makes him the uncle to Blue, and they're brother-in-laws. I didn't think I'd be seeing this. I didn't think that we would have this type of connection. But I'm interested though to see what would cause Void to go down this path where he's okay with slicing up dimensions, okay with killing numerous peoples in order to gain more power. I am interested in finding out just what went down. But overall, I won't say that I went through this chapter too quickly, because I wasn't ranting and raving like I was in the last one. But this is still a very interesting chapter that's got me thinking, okay, so how did we get to where we are right now? And I feel like the next chapter will probably tell us that, because it says we're getting another one next week. We're not going on break. I'm so used to One Punch Man having 1 or 2 chapters within a singular month, and we're getting 3. When's the last time we had that? Not including December, because December had a ton of redrawn chapters that just released all on one day. Actually, it was December, because December had December 4th, then the 11th, then the 18th. I'm so used to One Punch Man chapters being just once or twice a month. Is this the month where we're getting more than just one singular chapter a month? Is this it? Is this the year? Is this the year where we get more than 1 or 2 chapters of One Punch Man every month? Are we being blessed? Are we being rewarded for our patience? Because it has been a minute when the series went on hiatus for a while. But yeah, too long, didn't read. I am looking forward to the next chapter, because I want to know how far this temptation went. Because we've seen people start to get tempted but not fall for it, such as Sonic and such as Flash. Sonic didn't even bother eating the monster cell, so he wasn't really too bothered by it. But for Flash, we saw him almost get tempted until he was knocked out of that stupor by Sonic. I don't know why I'm looking at the words on my webcam. I'm supposed to be looking here. When it came to Flash, we saw him get knocked out of it before he accepted. And I think the Homeless Emperor, we saw what happened with him as well. I think it was... Actually, we did. I think we did with the Homeless Emperor. That was one example. But it's been far too long since we've seen anyone get tempted by God in this story, and we see what happens fully after that. It's actually been a while. So I know I keep repeating this, but I can't wait to see how far this goes and why Void is on this mission right now. That would lead him to cut the hand off of his very own brother-in-law, the father to his nephew, the husband, well, former husband to his late sister. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the next chapter next week. Overall, I like this chapter. It just has me thinking of more questions, though, simply because the story... It's crazy to think that we've reached a point in One Punch Man where we have gone beyond just simple man who is incredibly strong and strongest character in the game, just beats everybody up. Who knew that we would actually have an in-depth narrative that's going on right now? We got a whole scenario dealing with the Neo Heroes. We got the whole deal with God attempting to meddle in this dimension simply because Saitama's strength is what's drawing him here. And now we got an entire narrative that involves Flashy Flash and Speed of Sound Sonic, along with Empty Void and Blast, a person we really haven't seen too much of, and now they're getting center stage. Who knew that just from the first chapter of One Punch Man and the first episode of One Punch Man that we would see a narrative go this far? Who knew? But overall, I enjoyed it. And I can't believe that this story has got me so gripped in its claws that I want to know so much more about this series. So keep them coming. Keep them coming. But overall, yeah, I enjoyed it. But I'm done, ladies and gentlemen. This has been my reaction for One Punch Man. I need to get me some tea. Because the cough doesn't want to leave me, but I want it out. Because I can't be messing up my voices for you guys anymore. But overall, I like this chapter. Looking forward to the next one. You guys let me know what you think of this chapter as a whole. All I can say to you is, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples!